Hello, hello, hello! I am live from my living room over here in Zurich, Switzerland, right outside Zurich, Switzerland, today, and I wanted to talk to you with this horrible lighting. I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about the importance of Düsseldorf, Germany. This is not a very big city at all. I don't even know how many inhabitants it has or anything, but why it is important to me and why it has become important to me is because last weekend I went to a beautifully organized event in Düsseldorf, Germany, organized by the two lovely ladies at sseldorf Deutschland. They both have a very active blog and they have a fabulous magazine that they give out, I think, quarterly. So if you know any German at all, please check it out because it's fantastic. Anyway, these two lovely ladies from Germany, but living in Sweden, which is kind of funny. They organized this wonderful event in Düsseldorf called, and it was the first German-speaking LCHF event, low-carb LCHF event at all. So it was really exciting that I got to be part of it. And I had no idea what was waiting for me over there because it's difficult to keep up to date and keep in touch with people apart from people in the sort of English or Swedish speaking low carb and LCHF community. I haven't yet quite ventured out to the German one, so it was really exciting to see that it was up to 200 people who had gathered for the one-day conference it was. And I was lucky enough that I got to spend a couple of minutes on stage being interviewed and also talking about my story as a diabetic. And for me, my story is my story. But for other people who then came up to me afterwards and, really thanked me for sharing my story and sharing my experiences and talking to me about how healthcare can be improved and how it should be improved and all of these things, it was so heartwarming and it was fantastic, and it warmed my heart and inspired me so much that I am doing something good, because sometimes when you sit alone and you only have sort of Facebook to talk to during the day, you don't really realize that what you have to offer is a big thing. And so that was my involvement in Düsseldorf, and I really loved it, and I loved meeting all these people and the other speakers, and the audience was fantastic. So many great questions and so many fantastic people came up to me and talked to me afterwards and discussed all kinds of things within the low carb community, which was fantastic, and I had a blast. But that begs the question, why is this so important? And why are places like Düsseldorf and the LCHF Congress that was, or Congress, that's a German word, but conference, why does that become so important? I mean, we have all the information online. We can basically learn it by ourselves, for ourselves, by just reading, watching, taking part in discussions, presentations, all these things. And so why does it become such an important thing to be there live and to see the people in the flesh, so to speak? And I have a few theories that I wanted to present to you today. So the first one, why it's important to bother to travel to these events and take part of these events, is community. Because the people eating low carb and being low carb, leading a low carb lifestyle, are still a minority to this day. And it makes it so nice and so much more, you can keep it up so much more if you have that little bit of support from that community that you've made personal connections with. So I really think that is the number one thing that is amazing about bothering to travel to all these events that I do. I travel to the US a couple of times this year, and well, of course, Mallorca is also an event, and that will be fantastic as well. But it's really this community feeling that we gather as a group, and we exchange ideas, and we exchange stories, and we exchange expertise in our various fields. And this is not, of course, not only for people who get the pleasure of being on stage. This is for everyone who is there, because at all of these events that I've been at, the speakers and the wonderful stars on the stage are so approachable after their lectures, or even before and during dinners and all this, that it really makes a huge difference than to just send off an email to someone and ask, hey, what do you think about this? So the social and the community factor is fantastic. Secondly, I think it's fantastic that you don't have to justify your food choices. It's a group of people where you can put butter in your coffee, you can eat as many rashers of bacon as you want, and the fact that, you know, the coconut oil is already by the coffee machine is 2 thumbs up. And no one asks you anything about these things, which in other situations in life you may need to justify. So that is fantastic. Second point. Third point, I've said it so many times already in this video, but you meet so many fantastic people with amazingly touching stories that come from different walks of life than you, but that you have something in common with and that you can connect with straight away. And that is fantastic. And of course, to this, which is sort of 3B, I guess, is that you get to meet the friends that you perhaps met at other conventions, or maybe have met online but never have met in person yet. So that is fantastic. So even in Düsseldorf, I got to have a few hugs and laughs with people that I've been in touch with but never met before, and that was fantastic. It was really, really, that really enriched the experience as well. And of course, because it's a conference, you get to learn new facts and new things and new findings that people maybe understand or see from a different point of view than you do. And that I find is really exciting, because how else are we going to learn? As I said, we can sit behind our computers and do the same thing, but it's a completely different thing when you see it and experience it live. And then, of course, you have a lot of fun. Low carbers are hilarious. We had so much fun, both now in Düsseldorf and on past conferences I've been to, that you just don't want the time to stop. It's so lovely and such a breath of fresh air to be amongst people that think similarly as yourself. And that, of course, leads to a lot of giggles, jokes, and happy faces. And of course, traveling to somewhere new, you perhaps experience something new, and you experience new things and new restaurants and new foods and new people and new customs. And that is, I mean, I'm a travel junkie, but that is something that really, really is exciting to me. So if you want to join amazing people such as Dr. Eric Westman, Jimmy Moore, Sarah Hallberg, Jamie Caparoso, Emily Maguire, Ira Cummins, Sam Feltham, Daryl Edwards, Dr. Jeffrey Gerber, Franziska Spritzler, and the rest of our fantastic speakers at the Low Carb Universe. I cannot stress this enough, and experience something new and that you have never, and I promise never, experienced before, then I really suggest that you book your ticket soon, because this will be something that you do not want to miss. You can book your ticket right now at www.thelowcarbuniverse.com/book. And I can't wait to see you there. Of course, Bitte and I will also be in Mallorca, not only the amazing superstars that I just mentioned. So please join us. It will be an unforgettable experience because we haven't quite found an event that is quite like this one before. So until the next time, until my next live video that may show up on a Thursday or another day, we'll see. I wish you lots of love and lots of bacon.